Good evening, everyone. My name is Millennium Sparrow, and I am finally getting around to doing the final walkthrough of this design build in Disney Dreamlight Valley. This is my second design of the entire valley. My main goal is to get as many character houses as I possibly can inside my valley in some way or another. The first time I had a lot that were focused on the character itself and their little areas. This time I kind of went with what I wanted it to look like and worked with what the buildings were.
Oh, I just
So
love
first off,
sunshiny days.
yes, we do, Goofy. Thank you. So this area, the Plaza, is one of the first places you open in the game. In my build, I call this the Promenade. It is inspired by the third season of Bridgerton and the Queen's Arts and Innovation Festival. So it's one of the first parts I built in this design, and put all the sculptures and anything else, the singing flowers from Alice in Wonderland, one of the early star paths, and I just kind of adore how it came out. It's a place to just put on a pretty dress and walk around, or a fabulous outfit, and enjoy the other parts of art. So there's a little market over here, some food, flowers of course, tea. And then on this side, I've got the up balloon and the little picnic area, you know, where Penelope and Colin had the little eyes going on. So that is the Promenade in the Plaza. So the next part we're going to walk down into is what I call the Pixie Meadow. This is the peaceful meadow area, usually the second area that you open up in the game if it's not already open when you get it. I can't remember. And I'm just going to give you a little view.
Oh, I just love sunshiny days.
And I used a lot of trees and underbrush from the Wishblossom Ranch expansion in this area to give the oversized look. And I am in love. I might actually just keep this in my next design. I'm not sure. So we've got Merida's house, Tramp and Lady. All the oversized flowers really brought this together. This is the October house skin from this last 2025 season. It was at the end of the star path. And then this one is the house skin. It's like I call it the Shire house. I'm sure it's something else, but I think you can see that on the Spring Festival Island right now as well. So that's the first side. I've got Rapunzel's tower right in the middle, because what I really loved about that view is coming down and being able to see the whole thing when you come into the meadow. So you follow this way, we go into the other little nook. Straight ahead you have Vanellope's house and her little car. On this other side of the pond, there's a little market area and a little seating area. Again, these are a lot of Wishblossom Ranch craftables. And then over here we have Minnie and Daisy.
As usual, Linuses do all the work.
Amen, sister. Okay, and then over here there's a little market, a crafting area that I made up with a lot of the little fairy themed items. And that is our Pixie Meadow.
Could I talk to you?
Not right now, darling. All right, I'm gonna spin right around, and we're gonna go down into the Glade of Trust. Now this little section is an extension of my main area. One second. And I call it the little Pixie Fun Park. So coming down into here, we got some more Pixie Acre stuff. I have Aurora's cabin here, the Cheshire Cat's tree.
Everything here gives me pause.
So you walk around. I got Alice's tree, pardon me, Alice's house. And then this is the little area you get with Wishblossom Ranch. This is Tigger's like fun park. So then you can walk down in here, and it's almost a little forest. If you came either other direction, the other entrance from the meadow or from the beach, you'd get a little bit of a different look. Behind Aurora's house, I have Wally's garden, and back in here. And then this is kind of the little pub area. I've got Gaston's Tavern, little outdoor bar. Then we've got the grape house, winery house, however we want to call it. Little pizza oven. And then this is where I've got the well and some of the dream fruit trees. So it's almost a little foresty area, kind of like the 100-acre Grove or so. We're going to cut through Mother Gothel's area. The first time I did this, it was an apothecary. The second time, I kind of went with as many books as I could find. She's researching, you know, what she's always researching. This is the Bind cottage that came with the, I think, deluxe edition. I can't remember. So really in here, you get a little reading area. Crossing the river. To this side of the Glade of Trust, I have Mulan's house and camp. She didn't have a very large place in my first one. She was actually tucked into Scar's area, so I wanted to make it a little more grand. And I just like the coloring and everything with the ancient ruins and stuff in the back. And this is the view from either side there. So you can also come this way, and we've got Pocahontas's house over here, and a bunch of picnic areas, a very glitched out alligator. But I kind of fit Pocahontas in here last minute because I had already designed this, and it just kind of worked back here. I think the next one I do, she's going to have a lot more prominent spot. Now we are going to head back to the Pixie Meadow because I do like to enter the beach for the first view from the main stair entrance. Alright, so you're going to come down here and you can see the riverboat. My goal with this design was to make a kind of dock area where all the boats come in and are unloading everything. So it's a little bit of a market, it's a little overcrowded. You got the horse treadmills that I used to look like shipping container movers, and then just kind of built this all in, so it's almost like a Tortuga shipyard area. Now when you cross the bridge to this side of the beach, it's almost like the little boys club. We've got Buzz and Stitch, and then we've got Peter Pan right over here, and it's almost their little island where they can, peninsula, they can cause mayhem and mischief, and it's their own secluded little area. So then, if you follow the path, it'll lead you over to Ariel's concert hall, I believe is what I'm calling that. That one is, pardon me, Coral Concert Cove. But you'll see Ursula's house back there turned backwards. It just gives another little jagged edge. And I've got Ariel's house there, and I just kind of thought of it as a place where she performs, or anybody, to be quite perfectly honest. Now, if we head back over to Stitch's house, we can go around the corner, and you'll come into the other part of my beach. I call this Jack's Port. You got Moana's house, and coming into here, it's like a pirate area. My main goal is to, when you walked past here,
so much to explore.
Is Simba's house, and he's on, permanent vacation over here. We've got Maui's island there, and just kind of tried to make a little cove, fishing cove area. And if you come around this corner, it's just another little fishing, campsite for the most part. Now, if you head towards the cave in this direction, this is my little pirate hideout. This is one of the first things I did on the beach. And it's got Gaston's shipwreck, the Fountain of Youth, and a couple other pirate themed stuff from one of the Pirates of the Caribbean Star Pass that I adore. This is probably one of my favorite areas down on the beach. All right, from there, we are going to go ahead and head up to the Forest of Valor. We're going to head right into my Harvest Heights area. This used to take up half the portion of the Frosted Heights, because I just love the idea of fresh fallen snow on fall leaves, and I still wanted to keep the fall look, so I brought it down into the Forest of Valor. So I've got the fairy godmother's house there. There's some Arendelle entrance pieces. This is a Winnie the Pooh tree turned backwards with Woody and Mickey and Goofy. That's this tree forward. And then we've got Tigger's house, so that I fit right in here along with Flynn. It just gives me a very fun little harvesty looking area. I know a lot of people use their trees as an orchard. I like to put them in for decorating along with the bushes. It just gives you a item in that level of sight. There's not a lot of items in our decorating mode that have, you know, an eye level for your character. They're lower or higher. Those are right eye level. So we're gonna head over to my Main Street area, which is also in the Forest of Valor. I do my fit in Olaf's Emporium right up in here. I try to put all of the same size buildings in this area to almost make a city block. And I'm kind of obsessed with this section. The castle is a house skin, and then we've just got the other ones tucked in here. So this is the Main Street. Now across this bridge, we've got the Wishblossom Ranch area. You're able to bring your horses to your valley. If you do it, you can never take them away, so just keep that in mind. But this is what I did in this area. We've got Snow White's house. We've got the big old windmill that you end up restoring. There's some critter houses down here.
Wonder what Goofy's up to.
And I just liked all the snow on the items from Wishblossom, and that's kind of what brought in the fall, coming into winter, and then heading right up into actual winter up in the Frosted Heights area. So these are again, from Wishblossom Ranch, and they're very modular, the buildings, and I love how it came together up here. It's a little outdoor market. Coming into this area, it's almost the intersection, so you have your well, head into the market, or head over to the frozen side. I'm just gonna pop over here in front of the ancient cave. This is where I brought Cinderella in. It's not my best idea, but she's just gonna need a whole area dedicated to her, I think, in the next one. We are gonna head back over this way because my build cuts off that side. We've got Arendelle's frozen castle up here, and a bunch of the other frozen decor. I like to keep some of the ice out and about because it gives you more of the ice look, of course. So this heads right back down into the Arendelle city center pieces. I use these actually in 2 spots during this build. You saw those in the Glade of Trust as well. So let's head back over. Now, I do play on Xbox. I have my item limits off, and you can kind of see that it's a little glitchy sometimes, especially when gliding. It's a lot. I'm not even maxed out. The more companions you put in your houses will also slow your stuff down, so just keep that in mind. Coming up into the Sunlit Plateau. What I did was Flo's diner up here, diner and drive-in theater. So you come on in and you've got your vending machines, snack bar, of course the gas pumps, and then you get your movie ticket. That's Tiana's house that we have in here. Wally's as well. And you can come on back here and pick your seat at the drive-in. And then we've got mini casita here because it just kind of I like how it adds to the whole area. Alright, then we're going to come around the corner and head into what I kind of made into a little, what did I call it? The Eve's Outpost. So as you come in, it's a little more space-like. This is a house skin. You got Eve's spaceship, the new superhero one, and then if you look up in the right place, you'll be able to see headquarters around the corner. So it gives the, you know, tower look behind this one. So that's where I put joy and sadness, and this is just my little space output. That is Scar's cave turned backwards. It just gives me kind of the Tatooine space-like look. So if you follow this little path back here to this spooky little section, this is where we have Jack and Sally. You can kind of see this from the Glade of Trust. It looks kind of cool looking out over that. You can see Mulan's area down there. And there's just a little section. Again, I try to put every character house in the build in some way. Sometimes they're prominent, sometimes they're not. I don't always use all my house skins, but I definitely try to get all the characters in. Alright, so the last stop we're going to have is the Forgotten Lands. Now this, you'll know, is Scar's area, and what I've done is built up kind of almost an entrance, Hogwarts-esque, where you get dropped off from the train, and it's a little courtyard that you come in first, and then coming up into this area, we have what I call Mega Castle. This game has a lot of castles, and sometimes it's hard to make them all stand out on their own. I did at different times. This time I wanted to see if I could just put them all together. And so I used Merlin's house as essentially the entrance, some castle walls, and then there's a lot of castles in there. You can see Beauty and the Beast, there's Eric's castle, another copy of my house skin, the Aladdin Tower, and then there's more around the back. So first off, over here we do have Tiana's. I wanted to put her up here because these lights are always on, so it does kind of brighten up the Forgotten Lands, which is something that it always needs. So that's your little area for date night. A little courtyard. Now coming around the side is, again, kind of the market. Think of this as Mega Castle. This is going to be the, you know, market around it, the outer edges. And so there's all kinds of little spots. Some of these things you can't move, so just kind of figure out how to put them in or block them, either way. This time around I made it almost like they were cocktail tables. So you got your coffee and your books and you hang out. This is the large entrance plaza. That baby is a big one. Here's a little outdoor kitchen. More books. Then around this corner, I've got Cruella's house, and it kind of makes up this back corner. And I actually really like how this came out too. I know a lot of people use Cruella all through the Forgotten Lands, and I think that came out really well as well. Now that we've had the main tour, what I do want to do is just pop into furniture mode. The last tour I had, oh, that was the right button. Someone asked if I had any shots from above, and I didn't. So what I want to do is just make sure we get some of those this time. So, Forgotten Lands, your favorite treehouse is right here. I can walk all the way around this building and get back here and access all of this and anything that's in here. And what it does is also puts a good place for all your forageables so they don't pop up in your designs. So, you can see this is most of the Forgotten Land area. And then I'm going to come around so you can see this side. So I put a lot of white trees up here. It brightens it up. I hate how dark this area is. The first time I did it, it was frozen. That also made it much brighter. Okay. Then we've got scars area. So just kind of built up. I spent a lot of time running around my designs to see what they look like from the character perspective. So then coming into the sunlit plateau, back up. This is the corner over here. Now the other part that I also pay attention to is you can see different edges of your places from your other biomes. So like this heffalump balloon, you mostly see it from the Pixie Meadow, but I have it up in the sunlit plateau. Just remember your eyesight or your lines of sight. So there's your big old river going through the sunlit plateau. So all of that is on this side. Jack section. And then this one. So your entrances, your breaks in the areas are just suggestions. Go with whatever you want to do. This is the view of the plaza. Coming down into the Pixie Meadow. I also am a big fan of trees, so I always put them in. Okay, so Forest of Valor. Here is the way these are situated. And then we'll come over here. This is the harvesty area. The Wishblossom Ranch section. The even wintry Wishblossom Ranch section. And then over here we've got Cinderella and the Frozen Castle. And then this is just kind of a catch-all area for, again, the forageables and anything else. So we do have some sacrificed areas, but it's hard to tell with the way I have it set up. Then we'll come down into the beach. This is the dock area. It came out, just not as good as I wanted it to. That one took me a while. And then this is the Glade of Trust. So this is the kind of fun pixie area. And then we've got the foresty part. Crossing into the more forest. And then in here we've got the lawns section. So that, let me go ahead and show you back here, is the tour. And you can still access anything you need back here. I don't often, but just in case. So thanks for watching. And this marks the end of the guided tour.